We've all seen Troll 2, but did you know that the phenomena of Italian directors coming to small-town America to make pseudo-sequels to more popular American films is not an isolated incident? In fact, it's a large enough trend that it's basically its own subgenre. I'm Adam Caesar, I write horror books and talk about movies on the internet. Give me a follow if you want to see more like this. For example, don't you know Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3? No, not Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. This is also known as Night Killer. But it was released in some markets as Texas Chainsaw 3. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. Doesn't even have anything to do with Texas. I think it was filmed in Virginia. This is 1989's Witch Story. It was filmed mostly in Florida by a director named Alessandro Capone. They attempted to release it as a sequel to Superstition, a supernatural slasher that wasn't that big a hit to begin with, so who knows why they wanted to cash in on that title. But Witch Story, I think, to me at least, is one of the better examples of this kind of berserk gonzo Italian-American filmmaking. One of the only better examples I can think of is Primal Rage, which is another Florida-set gonzo movie. But Witch Story opens with the execution of a suspected witch, an execution that is witnessed by this little girl on the box there, who becomes instrumental to the kind of haunting slash possession slash Evil Dead-ish horror that ensues. The rest of the story is fairly standard. A group of teenagers that range from kind of odd to clueless to super annoying. There are all these different kind of archetypal characters are visiting this familial home, this old ancestral home, and one by one they start to get taken over by the spirits. It's never who you expect. It's actually kind of against a lot of the tropes, who dies early and who ends up surviving to make it out of the house. I found it very enjoyable. As you see on Vinegar Syndrome's like ridiculously extravagant slipcovers here, there are chainsaw-wielding ghouls, possessed ghouls. There are evil tarot game. There are a lot of great 80s fashions. There is a ton of product placement. If you're the kind of film goer who enjoys the kitsch or niche appeal of seeing the late 80s on screen and seeing products that people were eating and sodas that people were drinking, you will have an absolute bonanza with Witch Story. It's just that kind of movie. It's that kind of movie where you sit and you enjoy all of the cheese and all of the period touches and all of the regionality and all of the weird discordant Italianness that does peek through in both the script and the directing. But a really great film. I really enjoyed it. And Vinegar Syndrome's 4K looks great. Not the kind of movie you would expect to get the 4K treatment, since it's so kind of little seen and little talked about. But I think it's ripe for rediscovery. People are going to enjoy this the same way they quote and enjoy stuff like Troll 2. But yeah, those Italians in America, they loved it. They loved coming here. They loved going to Utah. They loved going to Virginia. They loved going to South Carolina. They loved going to Florida especially. And they made a lot of great movies here. And Witch Story is one of them. And if you enjoy people with Italian last names doing bloody things, you should pick up one of my books.